Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mueller here. Again, we're looking at now the second week of our online Algebra 1 class. And last week, we looked at the standard on operations on polynomials. We're going to look at that exact same standard again this week. Target 8A, last week we looked at should be able to perform operations by adding and subtracting and also getting them into standard form with respect to polynomials. This week we're going to look at multiplying polynomials. So same target, 8A, just a different part of that target. We're going to multiply polynomials. Now, the only thing you have to remember about multiplying polynomials is that you're going to use the distributive property, which you all should be well acquainted with right now. And once you use that distributive property, because you're going to be multiplying terms, you need to make sure you use your property of exponents wisely. So let's start here, and we're going to go ahead and find each product. In this first one, we're taking a single term, as in 7 times these two terms, the x and the 4. So we're going to take the 7 times the x and the 7 times the 4. Now, I'm not going to write this out every single time, and you don't have to either. But basically, you're going to take 7 times x, and you're going to take a positive 7 times a positive 4. Remember, I used that plus right here as just a sign on the 4. So 7 times a positive 4. And if you do that, that gives you a positive 7x, and that gives you a positive 28. So that positive there on the 7x, the positive on, the 7 times the positive 4, it becomes your symbol in between, okay? And so there's your answer. Again, no like terms to combine together. Now let's take a look at the second one here. Let's take 2b times b, and we're going to take 2b times 11. So in other words, again, we're going to take 2b, was writing down below. Got to make sure I don't touch the screen except with my stylus. 2b times b, and then we're going to take 2b times the negative 11. Because again, I'm including the negative with that 11 right there. So this becomes 2b squared. And then your 2b times 11 becomes negative 22. Again, sorry about that. Negative 22b. So again, the sign for taking 2b times negative 11 becomes your operation symbol between. So that's 2b squared minus 22b. And we are going to write our answers in standard form, which means the largest exponent, the b squared, will be first, the b will be second. Okay? Let's look at another example. This time we're going to take a single term times something called a trinomial that has 3 terms. Well, again, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take negative 8y cubed times 7y squared. We're going to take negative 8 cubed times negative 4y, and we're going to take negative 8 cubed times negative 1. So again, positive 7y squared, negative 4y, and a negative 1. Now, I'm going to write, this will probably be the last time I'm going to write them each time, and you don't have to do this. You can pretty much do this in your head if you like to. So we're going to take negative 8y cubed times 7y squared. We're going to take negative 8y cubed times negative 4y, and we're going to take negative 8y cubed times negative 1. I think I'm on the edge of my screen here, times negative 1. Let's just do this. There we go. I'm going to still learn. Oh, come on. There we go. Now we're going to go back to writing. Okay. So we're going to take negative 8y cubed times negative 1. There we go. And so when we do this, you look at these very first set of terms. we're going to get you're going to go negative 56 y to the fifth, because you're going to add the exponents of 3 and 2. We take negative 8y cubed minus or times a negative 4y. We get positive 32y to the fourth. And then we're going to take negative 8y cubed times negative 1. We get a positive 8y cubed. Now notice the exponents go down in order, 5, 4, 3. It's in standard form. And so there is our answer for this multiplication problem. Okay, now to end this, I'm going to look at one more problem here. And this time we actually have a couple things we got to do. We've got to take and distribute the m to the 3m minus 1. We've got to distribute the negative 2m to the m squared plus 4. And then we've got to combine like terms when we're done. So if we do this, let's take m times 3m. That's 3m squared. I'm not going to write out each individual product this time. Let's take m times negative 1. That's negative m. Now for the second polynomial, let's go ahead and let's take negative 2m times m squared, which would be negative 2m to the third. And then let's take negative 2m times r4, which would be negative 8m. And then what we'll do to get our final answer is we just look to combine like terms. Start with your largest exponent. Well, there's a negative 2m cubed here, so I'm going to start with that, negative 2m cubed. And then we got a positive 3m squared. And then I think we do have, right here, we've got a negative m and a negative 8m, which would be negative 9m. Notice again, descending order, we got our m cubed first, we got our m squared second, our m to the first power, that term last. Nothing can be combined together, so there's your answer.